I love Shanghai. It is an incredible international, fast-paced finance city with lots of foreigners and incredible life quality. But be prepared. You need to be earning the money to be able to live there. Beijing is a very different city. Beijing people and Shanghai people, they're quite unique in themselves as well. For example, Shanghai, during peak times in Shanghai and Shenzhen and Guangzhou, the taxi drivers will be crazily taking as many passengers as possible during those peak times because that's when they make their money for the day. But go to Beijing from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., you will find taxi drivers parked on the side of the road or in the noodle shops having their dinner. And the reason is they don't want the stress. The busiest time of the day is the time that they don't want to work. So it is very difficult to find a taxi during peak time in Beijing, which is why the subways are so popular and so busy, and there's so many of them around the city. But it just shows a difference in the culture and the mindset. You know, some of those, like for Shenzhen and Shanghai, people living in those cities are there to make money. They're there to grow their business and, grow their wealth and have a very fast paced life. But Beijing people are opposite to that. They want the relaxed lifestyle and they don't want to put stress on themselves. So that's just an interesting little story there to illustrate the point. However, second tier cities and third tier cities, you will find the most amazing people that are so welcoming, the most incredible food, some beautiful architecture and buildings and experiences that you will not find in the tourist destinations that most people go. So like any country that you go to visit, don't just follow the crowd. Don't come on a tour package and on a bus together and you stop and take your photo and then get back on the bus again. That's not life in China. Life in China is sitting on the street in the late night, a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning, having local barbecue and drinking a beer and chatting to some friends. And some of those experiences, they cost very, very little money, but they're some of the most memorable experiences that you'll ever have in your life. And my opinion is that the meaning of life is to create and have as many different memories as you can, because that's all we can really hold on to. So my travel advice for anyone visiting any country is to get amongst it, experience it, and do the things that the tourists do not do. That's where the real experiences are. Welcome to China.